Yo, what's up guys? It's Jack and welcome back, and look what we have here. And no, this is not my combat record. So first let's take a look at this. Wow, we got this guy over here with, look at the amount of kills, the amount of time played, KD ratio, unstoppables, headshots all over the place. 184,000 kills with the AN94, which beats the living hell out of my kills. And win-loss ratio is up there, and ooh, he's got an unbelievable win-loss ratio in free-for-all. Pretty much this guy plays mostly nothing but free-for-all. He's got pretty good accuracy and everything, and basically, long story short, this guy's skills are impressive. The only thing I could say about this guy when I played against him all night yesterday, I'll go into that in a little bit. What I will say is that he had this habit of just getting in a really good power position on every map for some of the times, and he'd plan to claymore somewhere, and he'd just stay there and camp there and just keep shooting at you nonstop. So in most of the games, I will admit that I did lose most of them, but I won a hell of a lot of them too. And this guy is obviously not used to losing, and that's for sure. But got a couple messages from him, just like, I don't know, he just said cringe. It's I guess every time I won, it was cringe-worthy, whatever that meant. But okay, these are one of the gameplays. I had more, and I'd put more of them on here, but I don't want the video to run for like 40 minutes or 45. So anyway, after learning the amazing news that my video made it to Thunderstruck Gaming last night, I was like, you know what? I was originally going to get Assassin's Creed Origins, but I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna play and grind out COD because I just want to make content. I want to get footage. I was just super motivated. And another thing is that this big question always came to mind. Now, when Black Ops 2 was in its prime, in its first year or whatnot, Team Deathmatch was in league play. So my big question is, now I kind of know and understand why Team Deathmatch is not played in competitive, but one thing that makes me a little bit more curious, though, is, call me stupid, call me ignorant, naive, call me, somebody that just doesn't know what they're talking about, but why isn't free-for-all in competitive? Ultimately, I've heard many players say this. This isn't exactly coming from my own words. This is actually me repeating other really good players. But when they say if you want to practice on your gun skill, the best way to find out how good your gun skill is, or if you want to test yourself, is play free-for-all, because you're gonna have a lot of one-on-one engagements. So in competitive, we've got game modes like, obviously, search and destroy, hardpoint, capture the flag, uplink, which is now going to have a different name. I think it's called Gridiron for COD World War II. So I respect that, and I understand why they have it, but the question is, why not free-for-all? Halo has free-for-all, and even Slayer, which is Team Deathmatch. Now, I understand that Halo works differently. I understand that the way the guns are used and the aiming and the fact that you have shields and all these different things along with power weapons and you name it. I understand that it's all different. Now, and for those of you guys that are new, I actually started out playing Halo before I even got into Call of Duty, and I was never really good at it either. And one of the reasons was because I just loved running around like a chicken without a head. And after a while, I learned how to get good at a Call of Duty after the first 3 or 4 years or whatnot. But anyway, they're not good, but decent. I really wouldn't call myself a good player. The only people that can actually say that they're good are the pros, in my humble opinion, and a couple of the top tier pub stompers out there. But anyway, back on point. I was always curious. I mean, can't you? Obviously, there's certain rules that competitive follows, like banning of certain weapons, banning maps, equipment, perks, etc. So I think that free-for-all would make actually a very interesting addition to competitive Call of Duty. You could always, obviously, you could use, there are maps that are built for it, obviously, you can use that. You don't even have to have a full 8 players for competitive free-for-all in a map, because obviously there's a little bit of spawn trapping and spawn manipulation, and spawns really are easier to memorize, especially in a game like Black Ops 2. And there's people out there like this guy that I'm playing against, and this is the game here. This guy has the spawns down really well. I remember more than a handful of times he'd kill me, and then he'd go to a spawn point, and I would be right there, and I'd just spawn, and then wham bam, he'd kill me again. Obviously in Nuketown, it's something that happens a heck of a lot more, and I've got more than one gameplay here. And no, it's not going to be of Nuketown. I decided to show some slums as well, give you guys a little bit of variety. I've got raid as well, but again, I didn't want to make the video go long. But you could always ban equipment, perks, certain weapons, attachments, etc., 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 and make a competitive free-for-all for Call of Duty. And it's been said that Team Deathmatch is not in it because it would be super campy and it wouldn't really be fun to watch or whatnot, and players wouldn't have as much of a reason to kind of move around. But one of the things that Crank did in what's it called, in Call of Duty Ghosts, Cranked was genius if you think about it. Too bad not many people play it. As a matter of fact, that playlist is pretty much dead at this point. Team Deathmatch is the only playlist that's still alive in Ghosts, and for all the other older Call of Duty games, especially on PC, TDM is the only thing that pretty much still plays normally. And I like the fact that Team Deathmatch was in League Play in Black Ops 2 when the game was first released after the first year, but I guess it was taken out, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I was actually it just kind of, sometimes I just think about it. It's like, I think free for all might be great, and it would also answer that question. Like, obviously we know who the best slayers are in competitive Call of Duty, but ultimately a free for all, having free for all in competitive would also kind of solidify who the best slayer is, obviously. But beyond that, I mean, let's not say that it should be on there just to see who the best slayer is, but like individual gun skill overall, I mean, it's just, I think it would be a really cool way to kind of add it to League Play. And I know some of you guys are probably going to think I'm absolutely nuts, and that's fine. That's more than fine. You can, you definitely have your opinion and say on that, definitely. And to some extent, I even agree with you, because I understand why the game modes are in competitive play and why there are only a few maps that are used and things that are banned. I completely understand. But I don't know. I guess there's just that part of me that just would really like to see pros play against each other in a TDM or in a free for all or whatnot. And again, with all the different things that they could do in the game, they could definitely change things up to where the rules can be completely different and circumstances can be completely different. I mean, they could do it, but I don't know. This is just me talking about something that to me is interesting, and I'm wondering, has anybody else ever kind of thought about this, or wouldn't you guys think it would be interesting? Or am I just completely crazy? So, because this here, me playing against this guy for like 3.5 hours last night, I played all night. I couldn't sleep because I was just full of adrenaline after seeing my video on Thunderstruck Gaming. I was really thunderstruck. So, and I just couldn't stop playing, and from game one all the way to the end, this guy was in the lobby, and I sure as hell wasn't going to leave, because I ultimately enjoy a great challenge, and I also believe that a great challenge is something that'll ultimately make you better. Playing against noobs consistently isn't something that is going to make you better nearly as fast as playing people that are as skilled as you, or around the skill level as you, or the guys that are going to give you a run for your money. And that's where I think that the pros definitely, that's another reason right there, in my opinion, why the pros truly are the best players in the world. But again, there are a handful of those top tier pub players that could be up there with the pros as well. The only difference is that they have to go through the transition, and the transition is they have to learn the callouts. They have to learn that it's a team-based game. Objectives are very important. Anchoring and how to set up strategies, communication, etc., etc. There's so many different things that come into play. So the transition would have to be greater than let's say a pro that would just play pubs. And all pros pretty much play pubs here and there. They just warm up with them. Some play it more than most, but more than others. But basically what it comes down to, and I've heard this before, and that is that basically once you have a certain level of gun skill, then you'll know whether or not you are ready to at least start getting into the whether or not you start to qualify to at least play amongst the pros or the amateurs or the guys that are, you know, about to kind of to try to see if they're good enough to be in the pros. And there's not many of them. I mean, it really is the top 1% in the world. And the top 1% is what? There's in COD Champs, there's like what, 32 teams competing this year, and each team has 4 players. Do the math. And there are millions of people that play Call of Duty, no matter who they are, whether it's, you know, they just play pubs or whether they also do some league play or rank play or whatever they want to call it this year. There really aren't a lot of people that are pros, and it just goes to show you from a statistical standpoint just how good these people are and how few of them there are. It's kind of like comparing it to the Navy SEALs. There's very few people in the military that are Navy SEALs, and for good reason. So and because it's that tough. So, and the same thing kind of goes with being a pro in Call of Duty or a pro at Halo or even a pro at anything in life. When you're a professional at something, especially when it comes to something that's like this, which can be compared in some ways to athletics in a sense. I know it's esports, but you know, there's a lot of admiration and respect that goes into people that do this for a living, because they really do know the game and are damn good at it. So wouldn't you guys like to see a free-for-all? Or would you guys love to see like a TDM or hell, even Kill Confirmed? I mean, my goodness, Kill Confirmed was basically came out in Modern Warfare 3 originally, and that is just a TDM variant to get players to move around more. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my butt. Maybe I'm absolutely crazy. Maybe the adrenaline from yesterday from Thunderstruck hasn't worn off yet. Maybe I'm just being weird. Who knows? But please let me know down in the comment section, or even on Twitter. You could follow me and let me know what you think. Am I crazy, or am I possibly not the only one that has thought of this, or it's even crossed their mind? Or do you guys just not care? You just not even interested in the pro scene, or are you just not interested in what they do or what game types they play? But the majority of us that play Call of Duty online will play Team Deathmatch, Domination, Kill Confirmed, and Search and Destroy, mostly. So according to statistics in the last 4 years. So, but anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. I wanted this to be a really juicy video. The one on Thunderstruck was really short, a lot shorter than what I usually make my videos. I usually make my videos less than 10 minutes or 10 minutes at the most. But I wanted this one to be juicy. I wanted this one to be kind of different because all the gameplays that I got from playing against this guy, I struggled in every single one of them. And like I said, I sure as hell didn't win all of them either. But it was a lot of fun, and I'd do it again because it was a lot of fun, and I think it helped me get better. So anyway, with that being said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. And as always, if you liked the video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.